Hey, Shazam, everyone. Give me a second. I guess I cut that all a little too close. It was my intention to have a little bit more time between my streams. Didn't work out that way. I want this one recording with a clean screen and not all this other stuff on it. So Lego Ninjago. There's the box, 71711. J Cyber. So I do record everything. 2020, 518 pieces. And hopefully nothing I do here will screw up. The 3 cameras already got running. Just bobble my head, move stuff around. All right. Okay, we don't need a microphone. I don't need that camera. Switch that one off. And we got a top down. I can go with that. Go back to that, mute, enter studio. It's got the right on. And I'll set up just 2 cameras here and I'll rotate. How you doing, Jordan? And oh, Taz, sorry to hear that you're working, buddy. I got that through Instagram. He's busy. Making that money. It's very weird when you have 2 streaming ones. So I got the one window with 3 cameras. I'm setting up the other one with just 2. And the second one will be very clean. No active mics. No, I just set it up wrong. Okay, so now I've got 2 of those. If I do that, how would that look like that? Probably not so good. So I'll give one focus. How's this one? I need to make sure I got that audio off so it does not give me, see? Choose different microphone and then there's no way for it to screw up. And then I mute that and then no issues. I have 6 of those sets I'll be parting on. Oh, really? Because it's hideous. Is it a good set to part out though? I mean, there's definitely parts in here I would love to keep in bulk if I were so inclined, but I think I'm leaning towards building and selling now. That's what I'm starting to think. Here, we'll start with that one. And geez, if I had scissors, I'd cut that bracelet off. Not great, but I got for very cheap. Good enough reason right there. I mean, that's why I bought it. Walmart clearance. I cleared a shelf of them. Had more. This is the one I kept for myself. Now I'm thinking maybe after the build, may not keep it. Let's see. Let's get rid of these show bracelets. Okay, that's one. If I didn't have a VIP pass, I'd reuse them tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure they would change color if they were smart. All right. So we don't have the show stuff on anymore, so that's good. Put that there since I got clean up anyway. And which one are we going to, we could do top down to start. I can swap back and forth. We're going to have to get you on one of these days, Jordan. I'm pretty sure I pinned the link anyway. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to message the ladies. And an energy drink. Key. Hey, my wife took my daughter out and they got my car. I'm stranded since I got home. Okay. I'm going to set the recording on the secondary stream. Nice. All right. You guys have got 80%, 60-40. How about 40% of my attention? No. I know I'm bad. I am really, really, really bad. And you know what? The sweater's got to come off. 16 degrees. Yes. Awesome. I got an instant response. I never get an instant response from the wife. And I'm convinced she does it on purpose because she knows it drives me crazy. I spent all this money on the cell phones. I mean, we got an iPhone 8 and 2 iPhone 13s in the house. And still I can't get them to answer a phone or to respond to a text sometimes. Very frustrating. Here, because we're using this view, I'll show them. This is what we got done so far. The head, neck, okay, for what it is, place set, lots of bending, ratcheted joints. Got some mixel joints for the tail, not bad. I mean, for a dragon build, cool, and it's a cyber dragon, which at the time I bought, I thought, oh, super cool. And then you look at these hideous wings, which I guess are supposed to look like energy wings. I don't have my Ninjago experts handy. I figured if they didn't respond to messages half hour ago, they're probably too busy to respond now. Did I already? Oh, that's the garbage ones. Okay. That's bags 1 and 2 garbage. Super strong winds here tonight. Probably going to have another tree come down. Hope it's the big one that blocks signal this time. Great. No, it was bad, eh? Coming back from Mississauga all the way to Toronto. City streets and highway, anywhere where there was big rubber road pylons, man, everyone was driving over them because they're all being blown over. They promised 90K winds. It sure felt like it. Absolutely. Now, of course, my wife there had responded, yes, dear, I don't mean anything because she didn't say what time she's coming back and I didn't ask her. She could be back in 5 minutes. She could be around in the corner. I guess the good news is she had to gas up. So I left her in a dire straits. She gets a better deal on gas than I do. So if at all possible and if at all convenient, she fills up. Because it doesn't matter if I pay now or if I pay later, I still pay, right? Okay, so we got some minifig stuff here. Minifig. Must be some nice helmet piece. Do we have legs? Is this Cripple J? I don't know. Don't know. Digi Naya? Does that make any sense? There's some legs. 2 swords, I assume belong. There's 3 swords though, so there's extra. Cool. I'm somewhat of a Ninjago guy. Oh, cool, Kev. My garbage can, deck, table, barbecue, recycling, all took flight tonight. No. I really had to bungee and strap things. Yeah. That's crazy. No global warming though, folks. This is all natural phenomenon. don't know. Crazy weather's been happening forever. We don't really know the truth. Oh, the prints on these are wicked. If I do sell this set, it's going to be very hard to do this. I mean, these figures are worth keeping. I don't know. Okay, that's super cool. Oh, and we're doing the silly, I didn't cut open all the bags yet. There's still this, so. Okay, that's it for the cellophane. All that toxic garbage. Thank goodness I'm anal about tying the garbage bag. I assume that's what you mean. That could have been super ugly. Oh, dude, garbage. I'm surprised I did not see more garbage blowing around the city of Toronto and Mississauga today. This is definitely an improved version of the backpack that Daredevil figure had and maybe a few others. The swords go in a lot better, I noticed. Oh, we got another controller gimmick. Okay, so the glowing piece at once. I still have all these glowing pieces. Okay. I think it's crazy how controllers are being used as the hilts for these weapons. Little PlayStation style controllers. Yeah, I mean, and the subtle reflective print on this one here, the DG Naya, like just beautiful. I was saying this the other night, last night when I started. It's a shame that Lego rarely prints on the sides and arms and stuff because, wow, this figure is just popping. Really cool figure. See, I wish I had left this one on the zoomed in, but very cool figure. And that looks like that's all the figures now. So by bag 3, we've done them all. It's all downhill after this, right? I love gray, probably one of my favorite brick colors. Yeah, PS4 controller, those are sick. They have those game packs. I got a few of those with those controller hilts. Yeah, they're really cool. Very cool. I mean, there's at least one extra controller in this set here. It's like, wow, that's really cool. Shame there's only room for 3 out of 4 buttons. Not complaining though. Hope everyone's having a good day. Continuing to do so. I know when I was out on the road and I was showing my friends some of the Dragon Block sets and other stuff out there. And then I remembered I still have Dragon Blocks I haven't built. I got a CN Towers set. So that's a possibility for tonight if I do yet another stream. It almost seems like I'm trying to get back all my hours that YouTube stole from me. Almost. Yeah, Jordan's Bricklink store, local to Saskatchewan. And Jordan, I think I gave you mod privs last time you were around, which means you can put a link to your store in the chat. Yep, I see the wrench there. So you can put a link to your store or to any other Lego affiliated thing you are doing. No Pornhub or RedTube type stuff. Unless you're really proud of your material on those pages. If you are, then I'll forgive you. Wouldn't it be something if you posted a profile? Oh, man. Yeah, Kevin, that's a problem. I can't answer that question until I actually build the Dragon Block set. So it's been, I don't know if it was you or someone else put it in my head the other night. And then today it came up when we were at Toys R Us. And it was like, they had 15, 16 sets. Actually, I was showing some people the Dragon Block Statue of Liberty set. Now, on the face of it, that's cute. If you look at the set and you look at the box, that set looks like it's very similar to the Lego Statue of Liberty set, which I think goes for 150 Canadian. I can't remember. Anyway, the Dragon Block set, if you look closely at it, is like a 90% lift. At least the last time I had taken a half decent look at it. And they consistently replace one part with another just to give it a little bit of a different look. And when I realized what they had done, I go, you dirty buggers. You completely ripped off the Lego one as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's not one-to-one, but it seems very intentional what they did do. And then I think the base of it is a lift as well, but not necessarily from Lego, but from a mock builder. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. So yeah, I don't know the quality yet until I open. What I did tell my buddies is if they wanted the Dragon Block sets, most of those builds you can buy from China for half the price. And it'll be the same brick inside. Dragon Blocks is packaged locally in Canada, and they're just picking up the overseas sets. That's my understanding, and until I open it, that's as much as I can say on it. I say that with about 90% confidence. I'll start Lego ASMR. Must have been me. I didn't know you'd done one yet. No, I haven't. And there's been some others I've been interested in, but the CN Tower one, I bought it when it was on sale. Not a big sale, but it was on sale. The Dragon Blocks to me are still overpriced. Big, huge box. It feels like they're all less than 1/3 full, which is Lego or less when it comes to packaging. Like it's really ridiculous, the Dragon Blocks. That's at least the way they feel. But yeah, I really should do that soon. Plus, if I get that one out of the way, then I don't have to look at it anymore. And that's definitely another plus for me. Having backstock is cool and fun, but when you're starting to run out of room or have room issues, like I've legitimately looked at certain sets and go, you know what? If I open one box, I can take the contents of the second box and put it in. Just mark the bags accordingly until I'm ready to do them. Because no one cares. You don't care. I don't care if I open up a sealed box or if it's unsealed and new or if it's used. No one really cares. I know what condition it was in when I bought it, and that's all that really matters. But so I'm just playing with ideas in my head. Don't know which way I'm going to lean yet. I don't think I've thought about it on and off every other year, and I always end up going back to the idea of, nah, not doing that. Okay. So I go with this. I get the feeling I'm going to be putting a sticker on that piece. Maybe. Now you did a massive Bricklink store change, or you did a massive upload? Whoa, that's the wrong piece, dude. And it looked so weird using it the way I did. And that's wrong too. Wow, sloppy business. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Tyler said his Dragon Block set seems better than Mega Blocks, but the figs are ugly. Yeah, my set, Sea Tower has no figures, so I won't be able to comment on that. But the figs are ugly compared to Lego or Mega, although his child mind at all. Didn't mind at all. Oh, okay. Changed move rooms in my house. Oh, so you actually moved your Bricklink store physically. That must have been fun. I'm assuming you did that because, well, you know, you need more space. Things are growing, expanding. Sticker tool, small flathead screwdriver, smallest one I got handy. Actually, that's not true. I could probably pull out watch tools, but then I wouldn't have enough of a flat surface. Okay, so if I get it from that corner, I can approach this really good. So yeah, I just stick it on the end. Now, how's my lights? Okay, I got all the lights on that I'm going to need. I mean, this is a rectangular sticker going on a 2x4, but only covering 2x3 space on a tile. So I'm just looking for relatively equal border, relatively straight. Yes, we have success. And since I know I haven't used this green for anything other than stickers, this is a good piece to use to push down the sticker, squeegee out the bubbles if there is any. That's one reason I keep fresh separators handy to help with the application of the stickers. Very nice. Let's get rid of the weapon. Post a link to his Bricklink story. Yeah, I mean, I've been encouraging, this is the second, third time. You've got the mod privs, just post the link to your store. Making sure, okay, so that's correct. Use the ratchet joint. And now we're going to put this leg on. Nice. Okay. Very nice. And we can even switch that up a bit. Switch the camera angle on the other one too, might as well. I have no doubt this will just be a reciprocated build. Flipped over. Actually, that's probably not the right term. Blue plate. Bracket. Where's the bracket? Okay. There we go. We got it, folks. Took us 2 or 3 nights, but we got him to post his store. Sweet. Hey, Lumberjack. I've already talked about maybe doing the third one later. You know, Saturday night used to be back in the day where I would start streaming Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I'd start streaming about 8 p.m. Eastern and some of my builds till 6 in the morning. Ryan, I'll tell you, I'd be ending the build as the sun would come up. A lot of 6 and 8 hour builds, streams, because Thursday night is the end of my 4-day work week for 40 hours. And then really, I don't have a lot going on the weekends, even prior to the big C. I don't go out a lot. I don't have too many bad habits other than Lego. So yeah. And did I not do 3 streams yesterday? Feels like I did 3 yesterday. I'm positive I did 3 yesterday. So, and as long as I keep doing those silly calendar streams, that's one out of, one done every day. Because I really want to get into the idea of daily streams, just short ones. My big problem is I can't sit in the chair too long. Bad for my back. I don't know if you notice, I got pool noodles and I put them on the edge of the desk because I do lean a lot on the elbows. And it's only gotten worse with the live streams. But my wife, I think I posted to Instagram, she brought home 6 new pool noodles. Like, yes. And now I know of a more efficient way of using them. Like, I won't be wasting them either. Technically, I've still got another half of the original one, so I don't even have to touch what she gave me probably till next year. But to find pool noodles in Toronto in the fall after the first snowfall was like awesome. She definitely she came through. I'm the only guy this time of year happy to have a pool noodle. Oh, yeah, I remember that work nights back then. You kept me. Hey, cool, Kev. Ryan is doing the good father thing, and he should still be cooking or having a sit down with the family. Ryan is probably one of the best dads you'll meet. There are definitely some dads on YouTube who will yell at their kids and castrate them and do all kinds of stuff instead of, spend time with the kids and be a father. Ryan makes this Lego stuff secondary. Father first, always. Whether that meant putting me off or even ending conversations early so I could spend time with the kids. Like Ryan's one of the top dads I know. I'm not going to say he puts me to shame because, hey, I'm number one. But he's definitely awesome dad material. Every time I see some of the stuff he's doing with the kids, I smile. Those are going to be some great kids growing up. And it's not that he's not stiff or that he's not stern with the kids, But it's very clear his fathering technique is, he's got game, that's for sure. Every time I see his kids, it's like it puts a smile on my face. Doing something right. One of those long overnight streams, though. Yeah, there was a bad one. If I do this, did I pick this up wrong? I did. See if I can do this. It was one of those long Chinese tank builds, 1,500 pieces, something crazy, tough. And I think I went, and I wasn't really communicating much with the channels much at all because there was only 1 or 2 ever, especially after the first 20 minutes. Like no one was hanging around, and I wasn't really communicating much. I was just too into the build, and I more or less ran the camera as, you can spy on me while I'm doing stuff, but I wasn't reading chat. I wasn't communicating. I wasn't enjoying it. You were just seeing me document my builds, and that's what I was doing. But yeah, there was like a 6 or 8 hour stream, and I was like 80% of the way through it before I realized my microphone was not working at all. And I was dropping bombs everywhere, like pearls of wisdom. It's just horrible. I try and do tests now. I mean, this software is kind of cool because right away you pretty much tell if your microphone's working. I mean, it doesn't mean mistakes still don't happen, but let's see. So we got another leg here. Awesome. Woo! I just knocked everything loose. So not a horrible build. And I like the articulation I'm seeing so far. So there's 2 legs. Yeah, there's the stickers. Not necessarily a fan of those stickers, but whatever. I hope the ladies come in before I run out of stuff in this cup. Otherwise, I'll have to get up. All right, 1x3, 3x3 wedge plate, and one of these. Where's my ratcheting piece? There's my ratchet piece. Click. You can hear it, I hope. Not a super strong ratchet. If you get the keyed pieces, if you know what I'm talking about, those are definitely better. But of course, they come at a cost, you know, the size for one. Two bricks with Technic axle holes. Another 3x3 wedge plate. L plate. Just one? Okay, so just one. Black 1x2 slope. Blue wedge plate. Shield tile, that's what I call this one. And a sloped grill. So what are we, about 27 minutes into the build? I'm using my own recording there. Da, 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 da. One stud. My kingdom for a plate stud. There we go. And one of these blue slopes. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so we got that sub build. Brown axle with stopper. And this Technic bit here. Just going to have a ball joint connector. That's going to go into the 2 plates. Not plates, bricks with axle hole. And now, let's see, ratchet down. What are we making? The first forward leg? Nice. Very cool. And of course, I've got the hinging bending here. So we definitely got some cool articulation going on. So don't let my crying make you think there isn't something cool to this set. There definitely is. All right. Another one of these. Two of these headlamp bricks. Two headlamp bricks here, with that inset notch or stud on the side. They're nice, but they can definitely be fragile. If you look just below the stud, that little gap, there's very little actual plastic material there. It does not age well. And if you see older ones, you'll eventually see that they will give way. It's not if, it's when. They will absolutely fail you in time. 3x3 wedge plate. Oops. Wrong. Maniac is back. Ryan, if you're not busy and you want on, you got a link. Ow. At the top. It should be pinned. Yeah. Or is it? It's not pinned. Okay, it's pinned now. Okay. And I didn't even put in that. That needs to be in there too. The ratchet bit. There we go. L-shaped plate. Slope. And where's my favorite grill? There's my favorite grill. Blue wedge plate and a shield tile. Anyone allowed? You're allowed. I don't mind people. The thing is, if I see someone I don't want, I just don't let them on screen. And if I think they're really bad, then I just block them, ban them, whatever. But yeah, that's open to pretty much anyone. My number one rule, you gotta be 18 plus. Not because we're going to get crazy. Don't want them on screen. That's all. I need another stud. And I was having a hard time earlier finding one. I really don't want to go behind the wall and look for one black. Oh, man. Really? Nope. There it is. That's so funny. I thought for sure I had that pinned in the topic. My bad. So we're what, halfway through bag 3, and then I still have bag 4. And then depending on the time and how I feel, blah, 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 we might tackle the CN Tower. Oh, that did go all the way in. I didn't push it all the way in last time. Let's see. There we go. Even better. Even better. Okay, so we got the makings of part of the front legs done now. There we go. On the ratchet's really cool. So just so you guys can see, that's where we're at. I mean, it's got lots of articulation, not necessarily where I want it at times, but it's there. All right, so a gray ball joint here with a little wedge plate. One of these traverse bricks. Very nice. Another plate on top. And another bracket on this side. Very nice. Black 2x2 cheese slope. Two by two wedge plate. Aha! I told you guys. You didn't believe me. Okay, so that's not the one I need. Whoa! Oh, you guys don't play. Is there anything I'm not supposed to see?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. I can't anyway. I got the bright light right here. I see.
How's your day?
Now, good.
Did you get anything?
I saw. Did I get anything? Yeah. I got one car. Still not the color I'm hunting for. So I will probably go out tomorrow. Because I'm determined to get the match. That photo is real.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get that car.
So is that you want your energy drink now?
No, I don't want an energy drink now, but I'll have a Coke now. The energy drink will screw my adrenaline. Coke is just sugar.
So do you want it on ice because it's not cold?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get you a drink. I have to go to the bathroom once Tara's out.
Thank you for picking me up some cola. Everyone on my stream appreciates it. Hey! Shazam!
How's it going?
Good, Jordan. Hang on one sec, Jordan.
Yep.
Shazam. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, Jordan.
All
I hadn't
good.
seen
All
my
good.
wife since 10 o'clock this morning, so.
Yeah, mine's in bed already too. She works at midnight tonight, so
Ah.
I have my.
Glad to
Yeah,
have you on, man.
she works at a Costco, so they're doing midnights because Christmas is chaos.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I haven't had a working membership in well over a year, but the one thing I dreaded was going in anywhere from like Black Friday till New Year's. Walking into a Costco, I mean, you got to put on your body armor and just you got to tough your way through, and you're going to be in long lines and just suck it up because it's rough. It is.
Oh
Really
yeah,
rough.
no, it sucks. It's they just got a liquor store in Saskatchewan, like in Saskatoon as well, so it's been just chaos.
Wait. The Costco has a liquor store inside now?
Yeah. So I don't know how the laws are in Ontario for your liquor laws, but ours are through SLG, Saskatchewan Liquor and Gaming. So,
Kind of the same here in Ontario. We got the LCBO, Liquor Control Board of Ontario. We're slowly now have alcohol in some supermarkets and stuff. It's still being controlled a lot, but they're loosening their death grip on that. And but I don't think the Costco's locally here have them yet. I could be wrong. But wow, I feel for them because it's another opportunity to make money, but now you also. It's tough because you can only have certain cashiers man certain lines because of the alcohol.
we just started getting liquor stores like other than the like what we had before, like just through the SLG stores. Like Sobeys opens them now, and I think
Yeah,
Superstore has a couple. We just started getting those as well.
Yeah, that's where we're at now. I think we're kind of 2 years into this, the slow rollout of having it expand beyond just the liquor stores. And
Yeah, we're probably about the same as you then. We're not free like Alberta, so
yeah, like Quebec has had alcohol in every store forever. I mean,
now those French got a drink, right?
honestly, it's something. I mean, it was funny all the times I could drive, from here to New Brunswick or Nova Scotia or PI or whatever from Toronto. And when you're going through Quebec, like the gas stations, everyone had alcohol. Everyone, beer, alcohol, whatever you want. And I always thought, how weird, you know?
What blew my mind was when I went to I went to Calgary this summer. The co-op there had a cannabis store.
Whoa.
I know. I was like, what? I was so confused. And then their co-op isn't owned by do you guys have co-ops out there, first of all?
I'm sure we do, but it's probably not as big in Ontario as it would be in the prairies. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the co-ops here, they were used to be under the same umbrella as the ones in Alberta, but they just switched over I want to say this summer or last summer, very, very, just very recently. And I was shocked when I drove past. I'm like, is that a co-op cannabis? My friend's like, yep. I'm like, what the heck is that? We just passed a law where
times are changing.
When cannabis started, they had to have a license. You had to pay a fee, and they only allowed 30 stores in Saskatchewan. And now there's honestly almost a store on every corner. It's ridiculous how many there are.
We started kind of the same way. Toronto, I think the original lottery for the licenses was something like 25 or 30 for the city of Toronto. And now it feels like every block on the major arteries has at least one. 2 blocks from me, we have one cannabis store. And I think if I go 3 blocks north, there's another. But it's getting out of hand.
I just wonder how all these stores are staying afloat. You can only buy so much from one place. I don't know. I'm this might be a debate that you don't want to discuss on here, but I believe cannabis is better than alcohol, and that's just my belief. But
my only concern is just how much of it's out there. And it's funny because if I talk to anyone who enjoys the stuff, they all tell me what's in the stores is garbage compared to what they were getting through their other means before. And it's more expensive. At least in Ontario, this is what I'm getting.
It is more expensive for sure. I heard Quebec's pretty cheap, but it matters on, again, the province taxes them very differently, which I don't really understand that. It shouldn't be just one uniform price for provinces, but our government's messed up, so it's just the way she goes. But it's is it cheaper? Probably. But at the same time, when you buy from your corner Joe, you don't know what you're getting.
And things have been scary the last couple of years. Stuff cutting, what they're using to cut certain drugs and dry certain drugs with. And it's like, I tell you, I like the idea of regulation when it comes with safety, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of upset people who are just not happy with the quality of the product that's legal.
I don't know.
I don't have a horse in this race, and it's like I
don't mind it. I'll be honest. I don't mind it. It doesn't necessarily negatively affect me. So I don't know. I think people don't like change, right?
Yeah. So check this out. So let's see what the difference is between provinces. So here in Ontario, all those stores you cannot see in their windows. It has to be frosted.
That's the same with us.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
And I didn't know that it was a law. I
don't think it's frosted. Ours aren't all frosted. They're barriered. You can't see inside the windows.
Oh, you can't.
And you're only allowed 19. In Saskatchewan, it's for legal drinking age. Same for cannabis is 19 plus. I know you guys are the same as us, but Alberta it's 18, right? But
really?
For when I turned 18 back in the day, I went to Calgary, and let's just say I had a very good time.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, coming of age, man.
And yeah, it's ours. Yeah, you're not allowed anyone under 19. Which in liquor stores you're allowed. I think anyone can go in liquor stores. Like even I could bring my 5-year-old in there with me if I wanted to.
I don't think I was ever restricted from walking into a liquor store. Just the purchasing act, right? Because I mean, the liquor stores here, I mean, they've got all kinds of cool stuff they sell. I mean, jerseys and
Oh yeah, see ours honestly strictly has maybe chips and pop, but it's only edible like liquor and food. It's not anything really super exciting.
okay.
I'm listing translucent pieces right now or trans clear. Man, their
Oh,
colors are freaking very difficult to see.
I mean, I'm fortunate with the lighting I have. I don't even have everything turned on, and everyone says I've got a well lit setup. It's like to do what you're doing, where you got to be accurate, you got to sort your stuff out because you get it wrong and you send them out wrong, you're going to hear back from your customers. But
What
it's like
that's happened
I
before.
don't know if these are trans yellow or trans bright green. I don't know. I don't really care as long as my set gets built. But yeah, if I have to part it down and actually tell which way it's going, like if it wasn't for existing Bricklink, like I wouldn't know which one this one is.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta make like I've sold parts where I had it as 1x4 plate, but it was actually a 1x3. It was a
Oh,
total accident on my part, and
sure.
I refund like the guy was pretty good about it. I refunded them all back, and he kept it. Like I told him to keep the pieces. Like, oh, I'll use them for sure. Sure, you don't need to refund me. I'm like, no, it's my mistake. It was only $2. You
Yeah.
know, if you're gonna cry over $2, then you're in the wrong business, right?
The goodwill that you earn by doing what you did, that'll pay for itself in spades down the road.
Oh,
Because he for sure he's telling someone, you know what, this guy was cool, and I come out ahead, and he didn't reverse it, and it's like, yeah, I mean,
oh, I'm reading your stuff right now. There, Ryan. Yeah, no Rough Rider emblem. They lost, so I'm fine. I'm a Giants fan through and through. CFL is my second love. NFL is my first.
I
Can't
don't
bear
know.
the pain. Yeah, it was pretty rough, but my Giants are junk too. So I'm used to pain. What are you talking about?
I've always thought it's funny that with our humble little football league, League of Eight, where two teams had the same name forever. I just thought it was funny, two teams called Rough Riders.
Oh, it is funny, and it's like the CFL. The thing I love, like I don't know if you're a big sports guy. I love sports. I played them. To me, they were the reason I am today, and
Sure.
I I respect sports so much on that fact. But like in the CFL, it feels like such a homegrown thing.
Hmm.
Like we just got a new stadium in Regina. Well, probably 5 years. I don't know. I'd have to look up, but a few years back, and old Mosaic was like it was a dump. Like it was
Okay.
wood benches. You're sitting right like up close to someone. There's no separate seats, no cup holders. Like it was, for back of lack of a word, a shithole. And this new stadium we got, but it was our shithole. That's why we loved it. So
Sure.
this new stadium we got, it's like walking into virtually probably like the most beautiful thing in Saskatchewan. Like
Okay.
it is so like I've been to New York once, and I went to MetLife Stadium, which is New York Stadium in New Jersey, but it's shared by the Giants and the Jets.
Right.
And I gotta say, it was amazing. Like it's 120,000 seats, like it's massive. But then walking into the new Mosaic it feels even better because it's like this is in my province, this is mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy feeling for sure. But
I love to see it someday. I was in Saskatchewan last when I was, wow, 9 or 10 years old, and I was only there. Sorry, Regina. When Yeah, about 4 months of my life, my mom had taken us kids out there to get away from a bad situation. I hated it out there. There was a drought at the time. The water reservoir was low, so you could see like barrels at the bottom, and
yeah,
and the whole town had shut down at 7 o'clock at night. It was dead. The movie theater and the odd taxi and the hospital. Everything else was dead, and I never had a great feeling for Regina.
Yeah, see, I don't like. I live in Saskatoon, so I like Saskatoon a lot. The summertime is a little better than the winter, obviously, because you get obviously these past couple of years are kind of a write off, but you get really good events during the summer. Like we have Taste of Saskatchewan, which is probably my favorite event because I love food, and then just other things outdoor, and then where the city of Bridges is just beautiful sometimes at night and stuff like that.
See, I heard that casinos changed everything for you guys. Is that true? Like,
Um,
because when I was a kid, there was little to no casinos, and apparently that's changed in 30, 40 years. Like you've got them now or access to them, like within driving distance. Or am I
casinos
totally off?
have no. Sorry, my daughter came and had to ask me a question. I didn't know if you wanted to hear her squirrely voice. No,
We
the
all got
casinos.
kids.
Our casinos are all owned by the First Nation bands,
Okay.
except for two. Regina and Moose Jaw have their own, owned by their own. And Regina, I think, is actually the nicest casino in our province. But it's I'm not a big casino goer, but I don't mind going. But I just hate freaking losing money, to be honest. So it's it's okay. It's any gambling is going to be rough on a society in a sense, right? It's going to bleed them. So
Oh yeah, well, it's a tax on the poor. I mean, I've always looked at it that way.
well, like you see those people in casinos, they just sit there and just keep hammering money down. So it's crazy.
But yeah, my worldview of the prairies, especially that one, that province, was not great. It was the worst 4 months of my life. I was so happy to come back to Toronto. Everything I expect, running water. That's the thing, because it was a drought at the time. This was 81 or 82, whatever it was. Having running water, you could water a lawn, you could wash a car, you could do this, you could do that, play in the water even. And of course, all my friends were here, schools here, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I really hated being out.
It's a little different than then. So I wasn't born in '87, so it was, or whenever you came, I was a thought still. So it was,
yeah, 87 would have been. I probably had to be like before Hulk Hogan's reign, so before 83.
There's a famous Canadian wrestler who won his first championship in Saskatchewan.
Won a championship, or like a really big one, or
his first WWF championship.
His first WWF championship, and he won it in Saskatchewan.
I think in Saskatoon.
I want to say Saskatoon. I want to say Roddy Piper, but
no.
Oh no!
It is the most famous. Like I don't want to say big. I'm a wrestling fan, and in my mind,
is it going to be one of the Hearts then?
It's Brett.
It's Brett. Okay, so would that have been for his dad's company then?
No, that was WWF.
It was really a WWF belt. Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, I've heard rumors, and the timelines might be wrong, but
because clearly he had a lot of. I know he had some of the Stampede belts. I mean,
oh yeah,
he held everything that his dad had in that company.
I went to the Hard House when we were in Calgary a couple summers ago.
I envy you.
You can't actually go into it. You could just drive up by it. It's very weird to go by because it looks like they took everything else down in the neighborhood except that. There's modern apartments beside it and this and that. And then there's just this historical site where
I was about to ask you. So it is marked as a historical site now.
Oh,
right?
100%. They will. I don't think they could ever take that down. And it's
which is funny because I remember what they did to Vern Gagne, and they screwed him out of his property, which was around, I want to say Michigan, but whatever, like a $10 million property. And the government had declared eminent domain and all this. And his property was tied into the company, blah, blah, blah. So when his wrestling company was going under, he lost his home too, basically.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I'm a big Bret Hart fan. I met him back in, I want to say 2006 or 7 when he had his book come out, and he came through Saskatoon and did a signing. And
so you met him in the bitter years.
Yeah, I was I'm 31, so but I remember watching him as a kid, and just it's I've it's so amazing.
I was very fortunate that, so like probably 83, 84-ish. He'd come through with Neidhart. I don't know if Jimmy was attached to the hip to those two yet, but at Maple Leaf Gardens here in Toronto, the seats that my dad would get, red first row, which would put us right over the tunnel because the ring was center ice and they
Mhm.
had a ramp. So where they would come right at us, eye to eye, and then they'd step down the 4 stairs, and you could touch them. You could reach out and touch them, and he always put his hands up. It's like it was the best. And every 3 weeks, Maple Leaf Gardens, they were here and back in the heyday. And him, Neidhart, and then even later, Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, everyone who came out of Stampede Wrestling and ended up in the WWF, awesome people.
Do you watch wrestling like still to today or no, not really?
Okay, so here's the thing. I watch daily or almost daily Wrestle Talk and a few podcasts about it. It's very hard. I try and keep up on it. AEW, Ring of Honor, WWE, and all their 3 shows and what they've done to NXT makes you cry.
What they've done to the whole company. What do you mean NXT?
Whole company, but NXT was always that little piece of old school when you had Triple H pretty much grooming that the way he was brought up and the way he thinks about wrestling.
I
And
wonder
we
what
always,
happened to him and his ideologies though. Like you've seen him change, and it's
well, see, so he got sick, right? He had that health issue a month ago or whatever. And that was right around the time they were doing the NXT 2.0. And I'm not sure what came first, but it's very clear he's on the outs with the company.
oh, but which blows my mind because he should be the next face of the company, not just as a like as a like not as like a head figurehead, but also on screen. Like
Yeah.
he has all the heat already built in. You know, he can become the villain they need him to be if they need it. He can become the hero if they need him to be they can. But they
Yeah.
just like like I don't know if you watched when they inducted DX into the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago or last year, whenever they got inducted. That's when Billy Gunn was working with AEW, and Triple H says something like, "Oh, don't worry, McMahon will buy that piss ass company you're working for."
Well,
And
it was
fire you."
so cool that they brought him in to do the show.
Oh,
Clearly, a good
I
enough
loved it.
relationship they could get away with it, and then they could take shots at him. Don't worry, we'll buy you out, or some comment
That's
like that.
hilarious. So that's to me, that's wrestling. Like
Yep.
you look at wrestling at its peak, like especially for my generation, maybe not for yours necessarily, but it was WCW versus WWF.
Yeah.
That's where you got the Attitude Era, and
And it's what we want. We do want that competition, even though they're not quite there yet. We do
I'm
want
pretty
it.
sure the cons are up for it. Like AEW, like they are already like I look at one wrestler who I find is the one of the best business people I've ever seen, and that's Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Long
he's a
Island tea.
freaking genius. Like the
Yeah.
way he's marketing, him and Brian Myers are marketing themselves. Like they went on he went on AEW, then he's an Impact. He does little house shows too. Like he is everywhere, and that's how it should be.
I am
Like
so glad that when Mark Cardona got fired, right, when he got released, he didn't instantly sign an exclusive deal with anybody. He almost immediately appeared on AEW, but then he did the 1 or 2 matches, and then he did the other appearances
well,
elsewhere. Impact.
I think he only went on AEW because he's really good friends with Cody Rhodes, right?
Yeah,
So like I think he was like in their wedding party and stuff like that. So it's understandable why he would be in there with them. But yeah,
sure.
I agree. Like he and his toy lines he's releasing. Like I'm not a wrestling figure collector, but I follow all that stuff. And man, it is impressive what he is releasing.
See, when I look at him, I see what the Young Bucks were 5 and 10 years ago. The Young Bucks were the best self promoters between, I mean, they put out 50, 60 t shirts before anyone had ever heard of All In or AEW.
Yeah.
So they knew how to market themselves, and they made mad money before they ever heard of Tony Khan. And I see a lot of that in Zack Ryder in Cardona there because he is just doing a really good job, constantly promoting, looking for the next big thing. that he can do to promote his image, his toys, everything. And he's having a great time, at least it appears that way. And then when his girlfriend, when she got canned, immediately got her looking at stuff the way he does, and I think she'll be
But I'm
okay too.
curious if there was a no signing clause with her, because I know Alistair Black, that was a big one that had an issue. Is he got released, but in his clause was only 30 days. So
Yeah.
everyone's like, how is he back? How is he in AEW already if his clause aren't done? But like hers, she was pretty much instant in like releasing podcasts, changing her toy line. Didn't she sign with Ring of Honor? I thought.
I thought so too.
Yeah. So like that's huge. Like good for her. She's Canadian as well, so it's good.
Yeah. Well, so that was a big worry. Because I think that WWE was a sponsor for her, and I know that was an instant worry for her. Like, oh, I've been released, because the way that usually works in the States, the company that brings you in, that's it, and then you basically got to start over.
Yeah, but she I don't know, is it, like she's getting married to Matt.
By hook or by
Cardona.
crook, she's going to end up being American. So just don't resist. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very, very happy for her. Like I think she's gonna do great, and I think he's gonna
Her
very
Miss
much
Mess
expected.
gimmick when she was, in the wedding dress and the horrible lipstick in TNA, and I just thought that was brilliant. And the fact that she brings it back every once in a while, it is such a funny gimmick.
Oh yeah.
And she does it like Mick Foley now. She did one appearance as soon as she was released, and she was just wrestling as herself. And then something happened, like she took a shot to the head that carried her out at the small show arena thing, right? For some Mickey Mouse company. She comes back out in her mess gimmick with the wedding dress and the makeup, and it was hilarious. She's basically doing Mick Foley. The the 3 faces of Foley gimmick.
Yeah, the Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and
Yeah, and I love it. And that was, it all calls back to a very fun time in wrestling. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's definitely changed in that respect of like, the ability of wrestlers, and it's it sucks because I think it should be more free based and let them have their own creative inputs, and it just seems not to really happen anymore.
Well, they're claiming we're seeing that in AEW, and it seems like at least if you're one of the top tier guys, that's happening, or even if you're some of the bottom tier ones that maybe no one really cares about, that's happening. So I'm hoping that's where the industry's going. I'll tell you what I'm worried about though. Ring of Honor. So have you been following what's been going on with that company?
No, I don't. Ring of Honor is actually one like I never watched.
So Ring of Honor has been owned by Sinclair for probably the last 5 years, and they had relationships with them before that. But they've been a great company for 20 years, give or take, and leaning more towards a more pure, less entertainment style of wrestling. Well, one of the things under the Big C the last 2 years is they supported every piece of talent that worked with them. Even if you weren't under contract, a lot of these guys were, when they had no TV and no appearances, they were still paying out these guys. They took care of their guys. And what was McMahon doing at the time when he was making the most money? Releasing everybody. And it was just, and it was horrible to see. Yes, WWE has stakeholders, that they got to make sure they get their dividends, all that. It's a different world. I get it. But it really gives a black eye to the business and to them specifically when they're making more money than they ever have, ever. And they're releasing, their talent every couple months. Ring of Honor, they weren't making a lot of money. Yes, it was cheap programming for the Sinclair network for TV. That's great. But they managed to get through most of the Big C without having to hurt anybody. Well, their contracted talent as of the end of December, it's the end of the line. The gravy train's over. And they are doing some TV. They're doing pay-per-view, whatever. Like Final Battle is this weekend or next weekend, something like that. And what they're going to do is they're going to take 3 or 4 months off. And then in April, they're going to start back up, but they're going to have no signed exclusive talent, which sucks, but it's also cool because anyone who comes in can come and go as they please. It's going to be a different world for them, and it's going to be a different flavor for Ring of Honor, because they've always been a very serious wrestling company. And there's been some talent that's been exclusive to them, and we're hoping they show up. Like, I'm hoping the Briscoe brothers show up in AEW. If that happens, great. We already seen that young black fellow. He's so good. He showed
Jay
up.
Lethal?
Jay Lethal. I mean, I've been waiting forever for him to show up on one of the big TV.
Yeah, he's machismo. He's very good. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
he has a personality that just like destroys. It's
the guy is so funny. And the best part was years ago, I don't know if it was 2014 or whatever, when he was doing the machismo gimmick in TNA, and Ric Flair was there at the time. And, he's doing the Macho Man gimmick, and he was doing the Ric Flair. There was a great scene. They were told to both go out there, fill 10 minutes. They weren't told what to say. And Ric Flair just says, yeah, do your thing. I love your thing. Just do it out there. And Jay Lethal didn't know what he was going to do. Didn't know what he was going to say. And they just started wooing each other back and forth. And Ric Flair is turning red. Black Machismo's doing his thing as Ric Flair. And it was the funniest 10 minutes of TV ever. Just watching two guys have fun.
Well, I think like there's one fallen star right there, Ric Flair. Like his on-screen career might be over forever. And like all those, to me, it kind of bugs. I don't know. Again, I think it's like the way our culture has changed, and the council culture, right? And which I'm not shocked. Like Ric Flair, he's, none of those allegations.
Gone, because I think as long as Charlotte's husband is down in AEW and he's hanging around the AEW people, I think we're going to see him. And if Charlotte does get released, like it looks like she might between now and WrestleMania, I think we're going to see the whole family show up on AEW TV one way or the other.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see for sure.
Because Ric Flair went to Mexico with Idolo almost as soon as Idolo got cut from the WWE. And actually, Rick flew himself down on his own dime. Everyone thought he was paid to be there. Like, no, he wanted to hang out with his son-in-law.
I'm really curious how Ric Flair's like, how his brain is. You want to talk about someone who's taking some nasty bumps. Like he obviously most of the older guys have, but like there's one wrestler who some people don't like to talk about, who is still one of my favorite wrestlers to this day that had some major brain things. That's Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
The Canadian crippler. Like he is, like the day he passed away, like I was in high school. It was a very hard day for me. It's like Eddie Guerrero. When Eddie Guerrero died, I think I missed school for like 2 days. Then I just couldn't get it. I was just depressed because
Eddie Guerrero, I absolutely cried. Absolutely.
And like same with like Chris Benoit. Like I grew up, watching him and seeing, like I'm a small guy too, and seeing like I don't know if you had this aspiration when you were a kid, but a lot of people want to be a wrestler, right? They thought it was the glitz and the glam, and it was if you were a fan, you wanted to be one, or you wanted to be like them, and it was like I wonder how those older guys like Brett, you can visibly see the scars on him, like mentally, like you could, like he is, even meeting him how many years ago, you could see it then, and I have such respect for him. I think he has a really good crew around him, like his newer, or not new, but his newer wife and stuff like that. I think are doing a really good job of, like he's promoting a lot of more stuff now, which is really nice to see. Like there's that Roots of Fighting, I think it's called, where he promotes he has clothing with him.
Really
nice stuff. So
I gotta check that out.
I think it's Roots of, I don't know. I follow them on Facebook, but if I find out, I'll let you know. But yeah, it's, I like seeing that, because again, those old guys, they're a dying breed now. Now you have, wrestlers that are just like, and I'm a big John Cena fan. I know a lot of people will probably, make fun of me for that, but again, he was in my generation, like the Thugonomics. Oh, Chain Gang. That was like the best stuff ever. Like you cannot.
Oh, he was good. And I mean, I thought it was a joke at first, and he just ran with it, and he was really good with it.
He did such a good job, and it was, so good to see. because he I think he rocked Gimmick 100%.
And I'm glad he's found some success with the movie stuff now because he really wanted to make that leap. And it was really doubtful at first if that was going to work out for him because not everything was great. But it was the same thing with The Rock. Hey, not his a lot of his early stuff was trash. I mean, Doom
Tooth
wasn't
Fairy?
great. The Tooth Fairy. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that made you think, you know what, this really isn't going to work out for you. You're always going to be taking on joke roles. But look at
The
us
thing is,
now.
I think John Cena's been typecasted a little bit, and I think he's gonna be stuck. Like I think him. So Peacemaker, that role is perfect for John Cena.
Yeah, I think it's good for his look and for his
Like I
sense
think
of
he's
timing and
actually really
delivery.
good. Like I think he's that type of actor.
It's a shame that him and the Bella, that didn't work out, but apparently he's a very eccentric fellow.
Well, I don't know if you ever watched the Totally Divas show. I watched a couple
tried.
episodes here and there, and like he seems very like it needs to be his way or no way type thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think, especially the Bellas, I don't think would work well with them. Well, most women probably wouldn't work well, but. So I got a question. What kind of energy drinks do you drink?
Anything except for Red Bull.
So I'm drinking one right now, so that's why I was wondering. Have you ever had Monster Rehabs?
Yes.
Okay.
Those I like. Oh, basically almost anything Monster I like. I do prefer anything that has sugar as opposed to 0-calorie kind of stuff.
This one is the Monster Rehabs have coconut water.
Okay, cool.
That's their big, like. Theirs is 20 or no, sorry. There's a 3 grams of sugar, but it's mainly coconut water. I think it's one of the bigger things in it, and it's 170 milligrams of caffeine. That's what I'm drinking right now. So.
Yeah, I don't mind drinking that earlier. It's just, when my wife, she bought me something and then she bought me Coke. I said, no, give me the Coke. It's just sugar. That's great. If I take anything that's, got ginseng and all that other good stuff you got in your cans, it's like, it messes with your adrenaline levels and I absolutely won't sleep. So.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Like I work shift work. So my sleep cycles are like, I've been going to bed for the past, I got off Wednesday morning. I've been going to bed about 1 o'clock every night. Tonight, I'm trying not to, just to I go back to work on Monday.
Me too.
Cycle back, but it's hard when,
So I got to tell you what I do on Sunday nights. Sleep Easy or something similar. You take a cup of that, 8 o'clock at night, depending on when you got to get up. I got to get up at 4:30, so 8 o'clock at night, take a swig of that. And it works pretty good to knock me out.
I might have to try it out. I don't know.
Only once a week, and you can only do it if you're going to get that 8 hours sleep. Because if you're going to take it and you're going to get up in 4 hours, because it's going to be bad for you trying to drive to work, and it's going to be even worse depending on what your job is. So
yeah, see that's the thing. Like with my work, like when I work days, it sucks. I got to take my kids to daycare at like 5:30 in the morning. And so they go to daycare, and then my wife picks them up from daycare and takes them to school. So for me, it's like I usually get maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep before a day shift. So
okay,
but I don't know. I'm fine with that.
You could probably take less of a dose. I've done half, and
like you're probably used to riding on low sleep anyways. So
oh yeah, 4 hours sleep and going to work and I drive to work and then 10 hours on the forklift and whatever, and then hour drive home. That's kind of normal for me. Not that it's great, but it is what it is. That I can do standing on my head, but I don't recommend that for anyone.
Yeah, you just kind of learn to. I don't know. I like shift work. Don't get me wrong. Like it gives me, like I work 4 shifts coming up next week, and I'm off for 12. So it gives me that type of stuff, and it's helped me be able to run my business, like the Bricklink, and I sell Lego on other platforms as well. And so that's been nice.
So you're on Brick Owl too, or
No, like I sell on like Facebook Marketplace and
Marketplace? Okay.
GG, and I might start doing eBay in the new year, but I don't know. eBay's still a little, I don't know, not really big into eBay.
Okay, so here's my recommendation for you. There's absolutely stuff you'll never make a dime on eBay in your Bricklink store. But if you've got certain sets, certain rare figures,
Yeah.
the rare sets, whatever, anything that you could fetch a higher value when you're looking at eBay, do it.
See, and so like I'm not against that. Like I follow a lot of Bricklink sellers on YouTube, and like one of my, I don't know if you ever watch any Bricklink sellers on YouTube, but Pop's Block Shop,
Pop's Block, yep.
He's by far my favorite, and he does eBay as well. And my biggest thing is like now that I'm in a bigger space, maybe I could, but my storage was an issue. I didn't want to mix up my eBay and Bricklink accidentally or anything. So,
okay.
And I have looked at the dollar amount, but eBay fees are way higher than Bricklink.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna put anything there, you're gonna have to figure out like what's going to be a big value mover that's going to compensate the fees that you're going to encounter.
Well, see, I'm right now.
Once you figure that out, you're going to be good.
Oh yeah, like right now I'm putting together a very vintage space set with a bunch of monorail in it. It's that monorail I was telling you about, I think, a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And that, like on Bricklink, it's very expensive, but I don't know if I can get more on eBay because I have the original instructions and like all the old colors.
I pretty much guarantee you can get more on eBay.
So I'm gonna look into it for sure. It's time. Like I said, I was just moving rooms this past a week and a half ago, and it's been a lengthy transition, that's for sure. I still have I sold a ton of bulk stock just to get rid of stuff, but it takes time, right?
You weren't worried about I mean, when I look at the Bricklinks, of course, everyone looks at, big shops, larger lot numbers, blah, blah, blah. I mean, ultimately, they're also going to look for what's going to be cheapest because that's what most people do anyway when they're looking on Bricklink. But, having more in your store generally helps, people looking at stuff. So the bulk sell-off, you weren't worried about that, or?
I had, let's just put in perspective. So I had about 102-liter totes, like those totes with the yellow lids you get from Home Depot.
Yep.
I had 8 of those full of bulk Lego, unsorted, unwashed. There's some probably Mega Blocks, some other crap in there.
Oh, so you just straight up said, "Here's the bin. Give me money for this." And
like I have a guy who's sorting for me. He's off work right now, just medical issues, and I'm like, he's like, hey, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, you want me to sort your Lego? I said, you could just pay me in Lego. I said, sure, why not? So we did my first sort, did a really good job. A lot of I wash all my used Lego just because that's how I would want it. I look at it the way I would want it.
Yep.
And so I wash everything. Like even my used sets, I wash them all. I categorize them. I bag them in separate colors, all that fun stuff, which is very tedious and takes a long time. But to me, you get a better product, right?
Absolutely.
And so I said he took 4 of those totes and he was sorting them while he's off. And I moved everything into my room here. And I'm like, I do not have room for 4 more totes. I don't have room for 1 more tote. So I just texted him. I said, hey, do you want to buy 2 of those? Buy a tote off me? It's like, sure. So I came up with a price. I said, you okay with that? He's like, 100%. I said, well, maybe I should have asked for more if you answered so quickly. But I was like, okay. I said, you want another tote? Yeah, sure. Okay, take another tote. So he took 2 of the 4. So, and I gave him a deal because he's also sorting. So that pays for him sorting in a sense too, right?
Yeah.
So, but
you know what?
Yeah, I have
happy. That's a great deal.
Yeah, and like my biggest thing is too, like, so those totes have been sitting in my garage full of Lego for probably 6 months. So would I want the money now or go through uploading used Lego is the most tedious job in the world.
Yeah.
You can have the most profit.
You've watched a lot of my streams, I'm sure. So, I mean, I have Brad on all the time, BTLG Bricks, and like he'll tell you how long it takes to put one item sometimes. And I look at him like, I think all you guys are nuts sometimes. I'm glad you do what you do. But every year when I think I'm going to do it, I back up. It's like, It's not for me.
Brad will say the exact same thing. Probably I'm going to say right now. It's a labor of love.
Yeah.
It's like, as much as I'm a Lego reseller, and we get a bad flack a lot of the times because they call us scalpers or whatever. And some people, I would say, are a little more negative, but most of us love Lego. Like I have a massive Star Wars ship collection, like a massive one, and I love it. Like I've considered selling it because I would like to go full time if I could eventually, but I just can't yet. But I don't want to because I love it so much. It's like stuff I wanted as a kid that I couldn't get. So now I'm with my adult money I'm getting, right? So
yep.
Like I have some pretty rare sets that I paid very little for that I can make massive. Like I bought a Venator, virtually brand new looking, for $50.
Oh man.
Like I could, 4 times my money on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't want to because I love it. You know what I mean? So it's one bad thing is I passed up on the Christmas X-Wing and I gave it to a buddy. I still gave it.
Wait. So, okay. So you passed up on it. So
yes.
you didn't have it in your possession at all?
I would have. I could have had my possession in 5 minutes if I drove to the guy's house and picked it up.
Oh, dude. And so how much at the time?
$200.
Oh, you're kicking yourself now.
I am. It's my biggest Lego regret to this day. And he's actually probably a guy who got it. And
oh, was it Rocky?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was another Bricklink seller. Who's a good friend of mine too. Like he.
Okay, because
Beamsville
Rocky harassed me for mine, and it's because he wanted the figures, and it's like I absolutely would, Rocky, but I need another one. If I have two, I will absolutely part one out to you or sell you one straight up or whatever. Yeah.
I regret to this day. And the worst thing is this guy takes pictures of it randomly and will send it to me over Facebook.
Yeah.
He knows how much that I'm like, I hate you.
I'm just chilling with this.
Oh yeah, no, he rubs it in my face. He knows he loves doing that. It's like his favorite thing in the world.
He's he's Lance Armstrong right now, hanging under his 7 Tour de France jerseys. Back when they were about to take it all away from him. I'm just chilling, laying back, and you see the 7 jerseys.
Well, I did him a favor thinking, maybe at some point in time he'll do me a favor in the future, which it hasn't happened yet, but I'm hoping someday it will. But I regret it, and I really, really, really wish I would have got it because it is such a beautiful set, and it was such a good deal. And I cry every time he takes a picture. A little bit of part of me dies. So, because I don't know if I would have built it. That's the thing. Like, it would have been hard to me to open in the box. And I tried to buy. Actually, my friend got the Sith bust head, and he tried to get me that. He bought that off eBay, and I tried to buy it off him for $100 more than he paid on eBay, but he wouldn't budge. That's another one I don't know if I'll be able to open.
I will open mine eventually. Just there hasn't been a push yet, but I think I'm going to be doing all the busts sooner as opposed to later. But yeah, I mean, it's nice having them. I definitely recommend any opportunity you get for an employee gift, especially if, in the first 2 weeks of hearing about the employee gifts. 100, 200, 300, 400. I know it's ugly numbers. Just do it.
Yeah, and I probably will going forward. At the time, it was like right before Christmas. I'm like, I do not have extra cash for this. I just dropped a massive amount on Black Friday, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I can't. And then I'm like, hey, do you want this? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. And he now rubs it in my face every day. So
yeah. So I'll tell you a little story about the Ninjago one. I don't even have it yet. And it's already gone up about $100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're not dumb investments, but that doesn't mean they're going to stay high. Like, you might have to, like, once you have it, something like that in your possession, you may have to think, you know what? It's always the hot topic around Christmas and even into January. But February, March, and April, the interest drops huge.
Yeah.
Every year in the employee gifts. So if you ever do pull the trigger on these next year or the year after, look at it as maybe this is a quick flip. Unless you're looking at it for yourself, then by all means keep it. But
yeah, like there's a figure I have that I've been contemplating selling. That's probably, I don't know if it's reached its peak or if they're going to make another of it. So I'm kind of like, I got a phase 2 Captain Rex, virtually brand new.
Ooh,
And I have a lot of pieces to him actually as well. But so that's $$200 figure almost.
dude, is it that
And
much?
it's gone up quite massively.
Oh, I gotta start doing a weekly. I mean, I'm always looking for a topic, like what can I do that isn't building or isn't buying? And it's like I should be pulling stuff out and going, yeah, yeah. Well, not yeah, but like here's a piece, that I bought for whatever, and this is what it's worth now. But I'm not one to give out a lot of investing advice because for everyone that's hot, something else I bought didn't take off at all. So
Well, at the same time too, like it's, I don't know, you're not like, I know you're not like a massive reseller. So for you, your audience isn't looking for,
no, they're not
probably
looking for
not
that
even
from
looking
me.
for,
No.
yeah, exactly. Like you'll have Brad on here every once in a while. You have me on here, every couple times. And yeah, we'll talk about Lego reselling, but I bet people aren't climbing in to hear, me talk about my Bricklink store, to be honest. They're probably like, who's this hillbilly from freaking Saskatchewan with his banjo? You know what I mean? Like, so it's, it is what it is, but it's investing is a very interesting thing. And I've thought about getting more into it and holding it. But to me, it's about, like, right now, I'm just trying to grow my, I guess, brand in a sense. Right. So like I made my own Facebook group and it's been doing not bad, growing a little bit here and there, but I've been really trying to grow my local support, like in Saskatoon, just because like I ship everywhere across. I don't ship in the States. I just ship in Canada. So I ship all across Canada, but locally I don't get a lot of orders. I have like some AFOLs. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's looking nice, by the way.
Well, make sure you promote your store. If you're doing YouTube, promote that, and promote even your Facebook group in Lego Club Canada. Because I don't mind that. People. Oh no, I can't promote my group in your group. No, you absolutely can. I say whatever is your Lego related stuff, you can absolutely promote in the groups.
Well, see, I even looked at doing like, so I follow the Brick Bin in Calgary very closely. Just because
I wish I could visit. I wish I could visit, and I will whenever I drive out to BC. But
it's the Brick Bin. So I went to he has 2 stores now. Actually, he just opened a second one in Calgary,
ooh.
And I went. Yeah, I was shocked how quickly he opened up a second one. So I have a friend, one of my best friend that I've had since high school. He lives in Calgary, so he told me about Brick Bin, and he sold at one of those like indoor farmers markets beforehand, and then opened up the Brick Bin. So when I was there in July, we went to the Brick Bin, and it's nice to see all those old sets. It was a little too hectic for me. Like I think I would have a little too much OCD in there because there's stuff everywhere, like literally everywhere. And maybe that's why he opened his second store, because he has so much stock. But I've looked closely because Saskatoon, we don't even have a Lego store here, right? Even Saskatchewan, we don't have a Lego store in Saskatchewan. So our closest is either Edmonton or Calgary. So I've looked at opening one here in Saskatchewan, but man, the overhead is just so freaking high. And
my wife has a major position in the property management for the local malls here. Yeah, the numbers are just crazy.
Well, see, and like I looked into malls, and malls actually weren't terribly priced, but malls are kind of a dying thing. And I even actually looked into possibly like majorly expanding my Bricklink store, and I looked into warehouses. And actually, warehouses pricing was a lot lower than retail. Let's tell you that.
Okay.
Which I was surprised about.
So check this out. This is new to me. So here's the sticker sheet. And at the bottom, I've got 4 or 6 of these stickers. But they're not numbered. It looks like it's just crap you can put anywhere.
I think those are the stickers that go on the things above their, like they have a pole that goes out of their back, kind of.
Really?
And that's their like life, isn't
that how that's supposed to work? Oh.
So just let me look. Yeah, I think is one of them has a skull with a bunch of yeah. Are those printed?
Yeah, so that's printed stuff.
Okay.
That's in their little flag or banners over their heads. And I guess I could see how it's kind of like a life meter. I get that.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the set right now. I don't even know where those ones are supposed to go.
I know. And that's what's been throwing me off the last few minutes. They're not numbered. They say a plus. I think it implies they're extra. I'm just going to take a quick look through.
Yeah, because I have
In
the
which
set.
case, I'll leave them as is. I'll leave them with the manual. And if it is something I decide I'm going to sell, someone's going to like it.
Like I know you said, like, oh man, why would you part this out? The pieces are that delectable. That's 5 minifigures. That right there is a huge thing.
I know, and I'm looking at them. These are wild figures. And then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
this weird kind of sword in the stone gimmick here with
Yeah.
a really cool looking sword, dual molded, 2-piece.
I've had probably 10 of these. I've sold a few of them just like as brand new sets to people, but I've had these for probably almost a year. I got them at Walmart clearance a while ago.
Yeah, which is the only reason I touched it.
Yeah.
I'd made a great video at the time, and it's like wicked.
That's the thing is Walmart clearance seems to be dead too, man. I haven't seen anything.
It comes and goes, right?
But like the States, it comes and goes way more frequent than us.
It's very possible that they're cluing into some of their purchasing habits and stuff and making little adjustments that help. And another thing is moving stock to other stores. In Canada, I know in the case of the warehouses, at times when we get to a point where they're following the numbers, they see how the orders are, and at some points they go, you know what, it's not worth it for us to drop it anymore on the website because then we got to pay for shipping. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it back to the DC, have it redistributed to the stores, and see how it goes that way. So we see that a lot.
Have you ever got any 2-cent sets before?
Oh, dude, 2 cent, 5 cent, 9 cent, $2,
I
$5,
know the
$9.
2-cent are what, return to vendor or like return to the warehouse?
That's the thing. So they're inventory markers because the last thing you're going to get from an employee in the store is a whole lot of attention or care to a list. If they give them a list and say, go find these, pull them off the pegs, put them in a cart, send them back upstream. That can be very time consuming. Whereas if they take the RF gun and they're going around with the RF gun, ding, ding, ding. Oh, this one flags as 2 cents or whatever. Pitch it in the bin. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, pitch this in the bin. So when you get the opportunity to grab them, you've got to do your best to get them to a cashier or do self-checkout, get out of the store as fast as you can.
Well, that's what I did. I got 4 inside school buses for 2 cents each.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Self-checkout.
No, like Ryan, so Brick Maniac, he had one of the better ones. Like I did this whole thing where me and my daughter hit 14 stores in the Toronto area in 8 hours. And, I showed the successes and fails from that. And it's really tough because after the first 3 or 4 stores, it's diminishing returns after that. But we still found some stuff. And that was just a brutal day because locally I have 15 stores. And if you go in any direction from me, they're all roughly at the worst half-hour away.
Like Walmart's?
Walmart's.
Jeez, I have 3 in my city, and then 2 in Regina, 1 in Prince Albert, and a couple like small ones, but nothing.
So what we did was I had set up on the Thursday night an itinerary of these stores with these sets I knew I wanted to hit, and I did this right after the stores closed, and I knew their inventory was more or less locked. So it's like, okay, I know I wanted to hit this and this and this first, the closest ones. And then we started to fan out and do basically a kind of route that would allow me to hit as many as possible. The goal was 15. We hit 14 before we said we're done because last 2 or 3 were dry. And it's like, yeah, I'm competing against too many other people doing the same thing. Usually none of them so fanatical to try and hit that many stores, but that was a one and done. I've never hit so many since because that was a brutal day.
So Walmart just had a mess up just recently with the Harry Potter, is that dog named Fluffy or whatever? That set at some stores came up as like 5 cents or something.
Really?
And so you probably know of this website. There's a website you can go to where you can check to see what Walmart stock is and the prices.
Yeah.
And it's not like Walmart.ca or anything. It's something different.
No. Yeah.
And so I use that.
I don't have a problem saying it. So, I've said it many times. Yeah. I've said it many times. I don't like the app for other stores, but it's still pretty useful for Walmart.
Oh, for Walmart, I find it the only useful. I've tried it for was it Toys R Us? It was useless. It was so
Okay,
bad.
I found it good at telling me stock, but of course it wasn't any good at telling me deals.
Yeah, the
Because it
stock
did help
even
me
then
hit some
wasn't.
Toys R Us stores so I could figure out where I was going to pick up some stuff.
But yeah, so like that one they had, I think in Prince Albert it was 2 cents. There's one store in Saskatoon it was 5, and I was at work that day, so I told a friend about it to see if he wanted the set. I didn't really care, to be honest. Like I should not be buying any Lego for at least a year, but knowing our obsession and our problem, you can never stop. So
Well,
like
it's like after I left that Transformers con, me and my buddies went to Toys R Us, and I was looking specifically for Hot Wheels, but of course we looked at the Lego section. There wasn't any deals to be had that I gave a crap about. But always looking, always
oh yeah.
looking.
It's like for me, I actually like buying used because it's like the hunt.
Mhm.
It's a treasure hunt. Finding those figures, or like I got a ton of Lego for free. Like I filled up my truck bed from a friend, my neighbor's daughter. Her neighbor moved out and or something happened. They had a ton of Lego. So she gave it all to me. And so my truck bed was full. I was going through, I found like a Commander Gregor head from Star Wars Rebels. Like, and I'm just like,
nice.
you get all excited about that. And found I found like 3DS games. I found probably $20 in change. Just random tech decks.
Nice.
They had probably a box, like a 12 by 12 box full of tech deck stuff in there. I was like, what is this? Which it's just it's just what you deal with when you get that type of stuff. But it's the hunt. And my kids, like my daughter, is in there like she's 5. She's in there like a dirty shirt. She is just taking stuff and then building stuff and just, this is mine now. She like looks at me and just stares me in the eyes and says, this is mine now. I'm like, okay, whatever. If you're happy, I'm happy. So like my son's 10. I'm trying to get him a little more into, like, when we were kids, I hustled a lot, right? Like selling Pokemon cards, raking leaves, mowing lawns, that type of stuff. And I'm trying to get him to do that, but like no interest whatsoever.
No.
So it's just
I tried too. I tried to convince my daughter, hey, go up and down the street, shovel snow.
Yeah, no, he's like, I got like $100. I'm good. I'm like, don't you want like $200? Like,
yeah.
It's so the hustle gene I think is really lost in this next generation, which sucks.
I would buy a cheap snow blower if I thought my daughter would make use of it and go hustle. But you know what? By the same token, Toronto, honestly, I bet we're going to get 3 storms tops this winter. I mean, because other than my work boots when I go to work, I wear sneakers.
Yeah,
all winter in Toronto. And my feet stay dry for the most part. So it's
like today was really nice for us. We went sledding, but usually it's super freaking cold here. So and we've had a decent amount of snow already, but it's again, when you're talking about global warming, it has definitely changed massively.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want to deny it. I'm not going to argue who's responsible. I'm not sure what is natural with the global warming because clearly everything's a cycle anyway.
Yeah, I understand that.
But yeah, how much are we responsible for? How much is naturally occurring and we just don't have a clue? I don't know.
Just blame it on Trudeau, right? That's the easiest way to do it.
It's all that beautiful hairspray he did, with the hair,
See, I'm from the West, so I'm even more bitter than out there, right? Like,
oh,
we're the like sometimes the lifeblood of Canada, and we're the ones who get crapped on the most. It's so funny.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm a PC guy. And so when I see him up there, it's like, oh, damn, again.
See, this year I voted differently than I usually do. And I only voted because the ideologies were right, not because of the leader or the candidates, but just some of the ideologies agreed more in line with mine than others. And man, did I get shit on from my friends. Holy. They like went after me. I'm like, why do you gotta judge someone by the way they vote? Judge them, it drives me nuts.
For a couple of stupid X's you put on a piece of paper, put it in a box, and never look at it again.
Well, it's even like the whole, vaccination thing, right? Like everyone just shits on everyone for not being this or not being that. Like, just who cares? Let them make their own choice. They're the ones who are going to lose out on stuff, not me.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's so weird.
Well,
That's a
you know,
whole that's a
well,
discussion we probably don't
I'm
want
the
to have.
company narc at work, right? And being a safety guy and all this, and so I'm always the one pushing. Hey, put it over your nose, this and that.
Yeah.
And guys are, oh, it's bad or it makes me itch or whatever. Go look at my nose. I'm gonna need plastic surgery when this is all over. Don't give me any crap about the stupid mask. I said, I don't even care what you think about this thing going around. I don't care what you think the effectiveness of the mask is. Here's my concern. I don't want Mississauga or the RCMP or anyone coming in closing down my warehouse. Put the stupid
Oh, yeah.
mask on or go home.
Or you have the
Because,
people that yell at like cashiers and stuff. And like my wife's cousin
oh,
did that, and I was right beside him, and I told him, right there, I said, "Shut your mouth." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "This is just a kid working here. Let the
yeah,
kid work. Leave him alone. Do
yeah.
you think he wants to enforce this crap?
And
No,
that's the
but he
thing. Every
has
time
to."
I go out, like today when I went out, they ask me, can we see your code and can we see your license? I don't want to pull it out any more than they want to see it. And they don't want to see it. And some of
Oh,
the places in Toronto, honestly, they hardly look at it. They don't. I mean, if I go in with the family, trust me, by the time they get to me and there's 4 of us, they probably don't even look at my stuff half the time. No one wants to do this, but let's just get through it and get it done.
well, like I love how like at the start it was like, "Oh, we're in this together," blah blah blah. Now it's like every man for themselves,
Yeah.
every person for themselves, run away. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just like it's so frustrating because like I have young kids in elementary school, and obviously they are now allowed to get the shot, and it's I'm waiting for them
Well,
to have.
now it's a whole new thing blowing up here in Toronto. 5 to 12 can get the shot now. And it's like, now you got a lot of parents saying, "Oh, I don't know if I want my kid to get the shot." Well, we're saying your kid can't come to school now. See,
Oh, do
before
they
your
do
kid,
that?
there was no shot. Well, here's the thing. So, I mean, locally, the mandates have been set. So I mean, people are going to be fighting it, and it's going to go through some court stuff. But the reality is, your kid's doesn't have the shots. There's going to be a cutoff point, and then your kid's not coming to school, and you're going to be
Okay.
do digital learning, and that's the way it's going to be. And it
Yeah, I haven't
really
heard anything
sucks.
like that here. So I my son's 10, so I asked him. I said, "What do you want to do?" He wanted the shot. He's very happy to have it. He is more than thrilled to have it, which I am shocked. But just because as a kid, that shouldn't be on your mind. You know what I mean? Like you should
Oh,
be,
I think it's horrible that we even have to ask them.
yeah,
That's the
and
worst part.
yeah, it's I feel so bad for them that they can't live, I guess, somewhat normal. You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's
my daughter's going through high school, and I tell you, this has been the worst 4 years. She gets into high school. That's great. Second year, high school burns down, right?
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, York memo, school burns down. So they're forced to finish the last 2 months merged with another half-ass school that's down the street. Then they decide, okay, for the next school year, because school's not going to be ready anytime soon, she has to take a bus 9 kilometers away, which in Toronto is like going to another city. So she's now taking a bus like an hour away, going to school, taking a bus an hour back. And of course, her hours aren't close enough to mine, so I can't pick her up most days. And now they're talking, yes, the school that burned down will eventually get rebuilt, but the future of the 2 schools is they're going to be merged. So once she's out of the school, once she finishes 12, they're going to merge them temporarily into the crap school. They're going to do their thing. And then as soon as the old school that burned down is fixed, then they'll get to move in there. But dude, they're dragging their ass on this so long. Nothing's getting done.
yeah.
And
See,
I feel for the board because the Toronto board before the school burned down was in the whole $90 million. So it's not like there's money to fix this school. There really isn't.
yeah, again, the kids have had by far the hardest, and some adults don't act like it, but it is 100% true. Like,
Oh yeah,
they
this is
like
brutal.
in March in 2020, they closed down everything like immediately. Like nothing, nothing was open. Everything closed. All activities, all school, and our school system, the online learning was terrible and very difficult. Like both me and my wife work. Neither one of us could take time off to help my son, who was in grade 3 at the time, with that. So he did the Zoom whenever we were home. And like I'm not going to expect my daycare lady to teach him, that either. So it's It's I don't know if we're ever gonna get back to normal, but
I mean, let's see. So the city next to me, Mississauga, they got a mask mandate until March. And this is what I remind people of at our meetings and stuff. Like, you can think whatever you want. We're stuck until at least March. And I'm sure in March they'll push it back again. But it's like, it's more realistic to think next year till Christmas, we're going to be dealing with this still at this rate. I mean, the last big plague thing that happened to this planet, 100 years ago, we went more or less 3 years through it in the 1900s, and it looks like we're doing the same with this one.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Again, I even hate talking about because it's so frustrating. But sadly, it's like the one thing we can talk about now that everyone kind of goes through, right? So,
Yeah, there's the common bond. We all hate this.
Well, back to Lego. Did you get the UCS AT-AT?
I'm nodding yes.
Have you built it yet?
No. I rarely build anything as soon as I get it.
So are you keeping the gift with purchase, the lightsaber? Do you see how much that's going for now?
Dude, you clearly don't watch everything I do.
I'm sorry, I don't.
No, I don't expect you to. I'm just saying I made some money. I made a lot of money.
Oh, you sold yours? Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I still have. No, I can. Yeah, I can prove I still got it.
Oh, okay.
I sold some.
Oh, how many AT-ATs did you buy?
I'm gonna hold up fingers so wifey can't see.
Okay, wait. I need to watch here. I'm watching on my phone. Do your thing.
There you go.
Holy! That's not that many.
It's enough.
Wifey, do you hear that? It's not that many. Don't worry. Yeah, see, like I'm not a UCS collector, and the reason I'm not is because if I buy one, I'm buying all of them, and that is a slippery slope.
Let's see. You want to talk? Let's see. So, actually, that's going to be a bad one. Let's not do that. Go on. What can I do? Will this one do?
Are they up there? Or are they in your storage unit? Your
no, dude, look. Right here above me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's see.
Jeez.
And this is. Oh, I know it's going to screw with my camera, but let's see. Is that going to come in?
Kind of.
Little dark. Okay, nothing UCS there. That's mega whatever, but there we go. Oh, I forgot. I've only got the power of the sun here. There we go.
There you go. Wow.
Believe it or not, this is 79 by 79 inches.
I am very jealous. Don't get me wrong, but man, you have a problem.
You're telling me. But,
like, do you ever get to the point where you're like, man, why? Like, I want to build all these, but I know I never will.
By the way, that's backlog. I've built everything prior to that in UCS. So
yeah,
in time it'll get built, but I can only build so many, and then I got to take apart, and I can build some more, and I got to take apart. So
yeah,
I can have about 200 sets built at any one time, and then I get to a point of saturation, and then I got to break down. August, I broke down like sets for 30 days, and I was doing most of that online.
Yeah, I watched you do a couple of those. Yeah. That's one thing that I'm having issue with buying stuff now is my backlog is, I wouldn't say large, like not even close to yours, but still it's big for me. And my issue is we don't have an IKEA in Saskatchewan as well, and that's the shelving I use.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting to go to Alberta to be able to buy some shelving, and we might go before Christmas, but we'll see.
So everything that isn't custom. So Billy. So there's 5 Billies in this corner.
Yeah.
4 regular Billies that are 31 wide and 1/2 width with a door. I had the door on there originally for my wife's sets, but then I decided I don't need her sets in there. I needed it for shelving. I'll probably even take the door off it. But then, oh my God. What are you doing? Give me this. Oh, okay. I'm glad it's clearly a new clean thing. My daughter walks in with this, and she kind of looked like Squid Game almost.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was really freaky.
Was it in like a bunny or in a hoodie?
She had it in her hoodie.
Yeah. Sorry, I almost said the Saskatchewan thing, a bunny hug, but I know that's not what's called there.
That was crazy. I don't know why that messed with my lighting. Oh yeah, because I got an automatic white lightness thing. I didn't turn that off. Shoot. Oh my God, she just came in with that. She scared the hell out of me. But oh yeah, so IKEA. Everything I got when it comes to Lego pretty much is IKEA or it's custom. I got Leotorp glass cases my wife bought. They were 400. Now they're actually 500 a piece. Glass enclosed, beautiful, like 7 feet tall. Great cases. And the one reason we bought them is they look great. And then if we ever take the Lego out, we'll put anything we want. Dishes in them, family photos. Like they're just beautiful cases. I got the cheap DTOF cases. And the reason we go with glass is because of the cat. The cat will break everything. So if I can't build it and put it behind glass, it's been a problem. So I don't generally build it. That big dragon I built 2 weeks ago, that's 9 feet in the air over the TV because I can't put it in the case. It's too big at 41 by 41. I might hang it over my head eventually. But right now I've got 2 sets that I can't build. One is the Death Star Destroyer UCS set, because I have no way to put that on an angle that'll fit into an 18-inch deep cabinet. Because the Leotorps are 18 inches by 30, I want to say 31 wide, but they might be as much as 35 wide. Still, that Star Destroyer won't fit. And the other is the Star Trek Enterprise from Mega Blocks. This thing, when built, that won't fit. The pylons to support the nacelles, just no way. And if I put it on an angle, even if it did fit, it would put so much stress on the plastic. I'm sure over time they'd warp. So I don't know what to do with that. I mean, might stay in the box for a very, very, very long time. But everything else, the intention is to build it. Some of the stuff won't get built till I retire. But I'm trying to make more and more time to build, even if it means, short stretches.
Yeah, I got quite a bit to build, but I'm just kind of, I don't know, waiting to get more shelf space. And when you run a Bricklink store, your building time goes down as well, right? So
Yep. And that's been a major factor. And I look at it, it's like even if everything goes well, I look at the time suck it can be, and it's like, oh
yeah.
I'm looking. I think I gotta check the manual. I feel like I put some of those signs upside down, but now I don't know. They all have an angle to them. Okay, so this one
the ninja face or the skull face go to the front, like
to the left. Okay.
Left,
yeah,
if you're looking at it, they're on your left. Yeah.
Okay, so only
I was just looking at the box.
Only one I messed up. I guess that's not bad. Thank God I didn't have to put stickers on anything. So after going through the manual twice, I'm just going to keep those stickers with the manual. And if I keep it, great for me. And if I sell it, someone will like it.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, thank you for hanging, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry we got into discussion about stuff that isn't Lego related. And
no, it's okay. I don't draw a hard line like that, and it didn't get out of line or crazy like some of my stuff. So that's awesome.
Sometimes you need some, Western influence when Ryan isn't here. So I'll try to help with that. Us in the West, we're a little more hard done by you Easterners. So.
You were more than suitable as a fill-in.
Well, I like to talk to Ryan too, especially about Lego Star Wars, because I know that's his passion as well.
Well, you know what happened after dinner? I have no doubt he went and they did movie time.
Yeah,
like I said, he's a great father, and he's always putting in that time.
Yeah, no, we're watching Ratatouille, so I asked them if they'll let me sort some Lego, and they said yes. So I decided to come into my Lego room, and I'll if you go on I got a Facebook group 306 Bricks. You can see my store progression of everything I've been doing. I kind of documented day by day on the stuff I was adding into the room that I'm in right now. So,
awesome. Okay.
But yeah, it's a definite. It's nice I'm not hitting my head on the ceiling anymore because I was used to be underneath the stairs. So I was like Harry Potter locked underneath the stairs. So It is
Were
definitely a
you at
bonus.
least able to sit up? Because I seen one guy's Bricklink store, and where he was running most of his store, he had to be hunched over because he had
Um,
shelves like over him to the point that's what he had to do to
like
just.
I have a chair that rolls, so I rolled a lot, which helped. But I stand up a bit. I'm sitting in my chair right now because I'm adding pieces. But yeah, sometimes you work with what you work, and my wife was
I got
very
one
thankful
light
for her.
here, this one
Yeah.
here, that depending on where I put it, I have to lean under it to get out.
Oh,
So I try not to do that.
yeah. It's my issue now is that stuff. So sometimes, like some of my cabinets are very low to the ground, so I gotta like get down to see the number to pick them, which sucks, but it is what it is. So
Oh, well, you know what the trick is? You come up with a numbering scheme where it just makes sense. Like, 6 over is whatever, 5 down is whatever. And so you
oh
don't
yeah,
even have
no.
to think about it.
And I assume over time I'll get better with it. It's again, I've been in this room for like a week and a half, so
Oh, yeah.
it hasn't been super long, but it's
You'll,
been.
you'll get that muscle memory soon then.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's my wife was nice enough to give me this. Like we moved into the storage room, and we moved our storage room somewhere else and got rid of a lot of stuff. So my wife was nice enough to give me that. So I'm very grateful because I know she was getting fed up with Lego in like 5 different rooms in our house. So
Yeah. I got a corner I got to clean out tonight so she can put up the Christmas tree tomorrow.
you guys don't have your Christmas tree up yet?
Oh, no, dude.
Wow,
No.
impressive.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
very impressive because I
I,
know
I, I have really nothing to do with that every year for the most part.
no.
I get to enjoy it. And yeah, everyone's been super busy. And then I had stuff, at city was in the corner. So it's like, yeah, that's my job to open up the corner for.
Well, I know mine is I always get the Christmas tree down, set it up, and then the wife does enjoy. My wife does all the decorating with the kids and stuff, and then again, I get to enjoy it like you do. I just
Yeah,
do the heavy lifting stuff.
yeah. Like she says she wants it out of storage. I will go get it and then let them do what they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, thanks for having me. If you're ever looking for another person to talk to, let me know. I'm always.
You got an open invite. I never say, oh, I only want 2 or I only want 6 or whatever. Like when I
Yeah,
do new bricks, sometimes I get as many as 5 or 6 and sometimes nobody. So awesome. No, appreciate you hanging with me, Jordan.
I would love to come sometime when you're talking to Brad. I find the way he does his stuff very interesting, and I like it.
What I want to do is, and this would be interesting. So Brad, very experienced, years and years, and him and me go way back. And he's definitely my go-to guy because he's reasonably close. And then we've got you. You've been doing your thing for a while. And then we got maybe even Jacob, who's just starting out. I would love to have a round table and just talk to all three and see what you're thinking of the state of Bricklink right now, where it's going in the future, what you guys are doing in your individual businesses, and what you guys can learn from each other. And I think that would just be great for half an hour to an hour, just bang that out.
Well, it's like that's the thing is I don't think like the Bricklink community I find is pretty good usually, or like brick whatever the Lego reselling community is usually pretty good, but a lot of people don't really talk about the business. Like I have 2 mentors. I call them mentors because they're guys who I've reached out to. One is the biggest store in Saskatchewan, Sumo Bricks,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is Beamsville Bricks, Crisp, and those two they've been so helpful for me and it's been so nice. But a lot of people don't talk to each other, which I find crazy because even with me, I helped start 2 Bricklink stores in my own city. Yes, they're competition, but you could also be friendly with them, right?
Yeah.
Like one guy, he's like, "Hey man, I want to start a Bricklink store. Can we go for coffee?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So we went for coffee, and he had a list, like a book of questions, and he just And I tried to help him. I said, "I've only been doing it for a year and a half or a year at that point. No, I wasn't even doing it for a year. I think I was doing it for like 8 months when he asked to talk to me." And he's like, "You've only been doing it for 8 months?" I'm like, yeah, "You got to learn quick. Like if you want to be successful, you got to learn quick and you got to know what works." And so, but it's, I think I talked to every store in Saskatoon except one. And there's about 6 of us, I think. So not a huge number, obviously, but still, it's good to keep that communication, right?
Hey, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to need something. They got it. You'll help each other out. Because I watch Brad do that all the time.
Oh
Like
yeah,
if
I did that to one of a fellow store a couple weeks ago. She needed looking for train stuff, and I just had a bunch in. And I gave her a really good price on it. And even when she got home, she looked it up. She's like, "Yeah, you gave me way too cheap." I'm like, "Well, I know when I need my back scratched, you'll probably come around and help me." So
Nice.
but you have a good night, and we'll talk later.
Awesome. Thank
Okay.
you.
See ya.
All right. Kevin, Ryan, Brickmaniac, Jordan. Who am I missing here? Who is, of course, Cap89. And he's got his 306 bricks. So check that out, guys. Big Nate, Lumberjack. He was hanging axle plate. I think I missed Axel earlier. I feel bad. I didn't realize he was in. But I was enjoying the conversation so much, admittedly, I wasn't looking at the chat too often. But thank you, guys. And I don't know if I'll do one more. If I do, you'll get a notification. But I'll catch you all tomorrow if I don't do another one tonight. Peace.